Oh yeah, here we go. Dude, did you know that there was a Reddit thread already fired up about this?
Yeah, I poked through it earlier today.
Oh, so
Some of
so
you
s-
people, I need to know who you are.
dude, there's a few people in here that you're like, how do you know what you know? Like, you know
I'm
what I mean?
immediately like, your handle is not whatever your handle actually is.
Oh shit, your mic like just now stopped working as soon as we went
Of
live.
course.
What's it coming through your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was weird. It just like it's fine now,
Maybe.
but it just like cut off randomly.
I wonder if it's when I get too loud. Because is this good?
Yeah, now it sounds okay, but maybe it does have to do with the volume back and forth.
It'll peek me out.
Bertie, this might be the Souza's biggest ever solo show. Nope, Tyler's here. Now we brought out. I'm bringing out some big guns for this. So we're gonna dive right in. I won't keep you guys waiting. Everybody was speculating: is it clickbait? You sit on a throne of lies, Standy. That's not true. That's what you think. That's what says this guy with the camera. And yeah, we're hearing some noise out in the ecosystem here, and basically what we're gonna do is I went down a rabbit hole of like, okay, are some of these things we hearing true? Are they not true? What's this whole situation? And so I'm just gonna take you guys down that whole entire research of what I did, and we're gonna explore some stuff. And there's some fun, interesting connections, and it's also stimulating, isn't it? It's also stimulating. I was wondering too, like, how much of instrumentals do you think we could play before we're hit up for like copyright?
I know there's a rule. There's like a rule of thumb.
I wonder if it doesn't have words. Maybe they can't pick it up, and then it's gonna fuck my whole entire show.
I talked to CTV about it. And if you don't care to give the ad money to somebody, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, we need all that ad money. We care a lot here. Souza's like a self-help book where we never get to the point. Now we're gonna get to the point. Okay, so diving right in, there's everybody says there's two things that are constant in life or guaranteed, right? Death and taxes. And I think that there's a third one that we don't talk about. It's death, taxes, and change. And we're gonna dive right into that. Now I just got really nervous. You smell like beef and cheese.
Is that really
Little.
rich?
That's really rich. That's really rich. That's why I said I got.
I feel so
nervous.
bullied if somebody says that.
You smell like beef and cheese.
Yes, it's
I
like
don't know- I don't-
immediately takes me back to 4th grade.
I took it as a complete compliment. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
fucking, I
that's
am a
not the
man.
worst smell. Yeah, yeah.
Just kidding. It's not the real Rich. It's not. That isn't him. Don't. That isn't Rich. The real Rich. See, we don't know. It's going to be crazy. So, Rich Froning's buying CrossFit. That's the end of the show. No, I'm just kidding.
See y'all later.
Okay, so I talked about this in a prediction show. I was saying that this is the year that it would be sold, 2025. Now, why do I think that? It's because, oh shit. Now, what song did I sing to you on your birthday? It's me.
There's no way Rich sang you a song on your birthday.
You don't know our relationship, dude.
Yeah, I don't.
That's my boy, dude.
When you
It's
told
like
me he texted you, I was like, oh, cool. I don't know Rich like that.
there's it's like Rich, and then you got Darren, and then there's me, just the third dude, kind of lurking, not really in any photos, but always there in their hearts. Oh shit! Come on, guys, Elf. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, so I had talked about it in the prediction show. The reason why is I said, hey, look, it's been 5 years, 4 years, whatever the case. Private equity has done its thing. And after what we saw at the CrossFit Games and how that whole thing unfolded, and potentially some pending lawsuits or whatever the hell is like continuing on with that, Berkshire Partners it's probably at that time. It's been about the 5 years. They've probably done what they think they could do with it, or at least have ran their playbook on it. And they're most likely looking to offload it. So that was my general prediction. Tyler, any comments around those things?
No, that's good. That's solid.
And the other thing too, just to run a little history lesson here, is I talked about it on our show a while back. They brought in a new CFO, that Snyder guy, and we'll bring up here his LinkedIn just as a reminder here. Okay, so here he was. If you guys look at, when we already combed through all this, right? But if you look at the timeline in which he's with companies here, he basically sets them up to fire it off. Okay. And now it takes some time to sell a company. There's a lot of due diligence that has to go into it. There's a lot of back and forth. Some of these things could take a year or more in terms of acquisition, right?
Looks like on average it's taking him 2 to 3 years, period.
2 to 3 years. But he's gotten better each year. That's what you don't see.
Right.
He's and now that he's working for CrossFit, he's doing it for time, dude.
Oh yeah. Nice, get the pressure on.
Get it? Because it's CrossFit if it's for time.
PR.
So anyways, we talked about that. We talked about his past. It was either setting it up for acquisition or he was doing setting it up for bankruptcy, Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So that was kind of the breakdown of the new CFO, which I'm thinking they brought him in for a purpose. And I think we're about to see that unfold now. So there's that piece
so in
on
baseball,
him.
he's kind of like a closer. He's your closing pitcher.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we talked about. We're like, hey, you're bringing this dude in for something. Oh, Jonathan, I hate that. I laughed at that. Thank you. Rich, they're cooking the books with offloading the season, raising the affiliate rate in online L1. Damn. If that's not Rich, he's pretty smart like Rich. So yeah, we've seen the first year of the full affiliateship, the price being raised go through. And I talked about that in the last couple of shows that they were saying like, hey, the affiliate raise was successful. Like everybody's happy about it. And they were saying this way back when it had only been like 3 months in. But now we've seen the full year. So everybody who is out, who wasn't going to renew their affiliate fees, CrossFit New England, is now out or in. We know the cat's out of the bag, right? You're either out or you're in. This is amazing. I feel so fucking cool today. And so just gotta chill out, you know what I mean? So now they can make that claim. Here's the new number that we get for affiliates. It's changed a little bit. You pay monthly. So now you have this really inflated monthly revenue that's coming in. We know that they changed a lot of the L1 to be online, therefore lowering the cost to deliver that seminar and raising the availability for people to take it. Okay, so we know that. So then that's going to also show on the books that that's good. Maybe education is looking good. We also know that they brought in the L2 as a requirement for affiliate owners. So that's going to keep people laddering through the education system as well. Now, if the books look good, it's right about the time they're having to deal with this whole entire public relations nightmare that is the CrossFit Games now. They kind of find themselves in this stuck position. We have the things we just talked about, the new CFO, how the books are looking. The company might look relatively healthy other than its public image, right? But they've been completely silent. And by them, I mean CrossFit HQ. We're a week away from the Open. They're making this whole Open sound like the CrossFit Games is contingent on it doing well. And yet it doesn't feel like they're doing that much publicly. What are your thoughts?
Define, it doesn't feel like they're doing that much.
Well, I just thought there would have been a lot more media. I thought we were seeing a lot more posts from them about it. I mean, so here's what I'm seeing. So everything Dave Castro is doing on his own, how loud is he? How often do you see his Instagram collaborated with an affiliate or somebody saying that they signed up for the Open? We have access to him now almost daily with the affiliate interviews on that show. We still get his week in review. Okay. Now take that as one guy doing it off on his own and then compare that to the resources of CrossFit HQ in the need for them to get this Open rolling in participation high. Now you tell me, do they seem like they're doing a lot or not?
It's funny because it's in comparison to like the past couple of years where they literally did dick all. And now they're, they have been doing some stuff. Like some of the reels, like the Open announcement, like the Open announcement videos have been cool, but like it's not a ton of volume. You've got a point on the volume.
Right. Exactly. Standy, we're 9 minutes and 28 seconds in. Okay. Chill the fuck out. All right. I started it late. Definition of not doing very much, what CrossFit is currently doing. People say CrossFit is a media company. I suggest it's a certification company with affiliates serving as outside sales. I would say it's 2015. And if you're a company, regardless of what you do, I do not care what you do. If you're a dry cleaner, if you're a gas station, if you're a CrossFit affiliate, you are a media company first. You have to be. and then your whatever you do second. That's how I feel about that.
I've literally cranked every volume thing up as far as I can.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. It's just Heidi tries
Leave
to get
me
in
alone,
everybody's head.
Heidi.
Yeah, see, there you go. So, okay. So I don't think there's a lot of promotion now. I thought we would have seen a new, a whole new slew of media, things being published. I thought we would have been highlighting some athletes right now, at least the ones that are saying they're in the CrossFit Games, right? I thought we would have seen some stuff published on the fittest man of Earth, James Sprague. Like, I thought we just would have seen a lot more about them hyping up stuff for the Open. I also would have said, like, dude, why aren't you creating more stuff around affiliates for the Open, like Dave is, but at a larger scale? I mean, he threw that chum in the water and all those affiliates jumped on it, right? Like, he was like, hey, I'll collab. Hey, if you want to have a chat with me, shoot me an email. And it's like, look, we have a ton of it. So I'm just saying, with the resources that CrossFit has, it seems like they're getting really quiet. Now, my guess is they're getting quiet is because they just don't want to rock the boat.
Or they don't want to spend any extra money leading into this sale at all.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, they've already made the budget for this, so they want to stay within bounds on that. But yeah, I like your rock the boat theory. Don't rock the boats.
I think they're just terrified and they don't know what to frickin' do here. All right, so let's dig right into it, shall we? Let's just get right into the nitty-gritty of it. So here's what I'm hearing. Okay. So we've seen kind of the way that CrossFit's positioned itself with silence in the ecosystem. All right, now we got all the heavy hitters here. Oh, geez. Let's see if I could hold on, spin. I'm going to fuck this whole thing up, dude. Wait.
There we go. Perfect.
Perfect. Hold on.
Wow, this is terrible.
I've never had this many friends before. You guys don't even watch the fucking show. And now look, all of you guys are here trying to hang out. Okay. So we'll ditch this for a short period of time and we'll go to this. Hey, I figured it out.
Kind of.
You came at a great time.
Under the thing.
Yeah. You could look. So we got, okay. So here's what I'm hearing. This company, Hustle Up, is an app. Hustle Up, and we'll go into some details about this. Hustle Up is owned by a holding company called B Sport. And that holding company also owns Northern Spirit. And that company bought CrossFit.
Going to?
Shocked.
Going to? Will? Has?
I'm going with bought. I think it's done.
Done. Signed.
Done. That's where I'm saying it's done. Deal's done. They own it.
Okay.
Spin. Any comments?
I do not think it's been. I don't think the ink has dried yet on that.
You don't think it's been signed? Okay, well, let's do this. So who the hell is B Sport? What do you guys know about it? Do you know anything? Have you done any research yet?
I've had some dealings with them.
Some dealings. Okay. So we're going to start with just the parent company here. So what is B Sport? So I couldn't really find anything on them. I know that this is a holding company that's in a small town in Switzerland. Oftentimes where holding companies go to not pay as much taxes. But so this is a European company, B Sport. It's backed by Saudi money is what I heard, and it's French owned as well. But they have a couple different businesses underneath their portfolio. The first one that they started with, which was the supplement here, the B Natural Nutrition.
Those are dope bottles.
Not a bad looking bottle. Then they have Hustle Up, the mobile app. Now, from what I read with Hustle Up here, it's basically trying to be like an all-in-one. Like I basically view it as like a Wodify. It sounds like the only difference between like the Wodify and this is that it'll also do stuff with leaderboards for like local competitions and stuff like that. Do you guys know much about this app?
I mean, I looked into it when they became a sponsor of the games last year, or I guess semifinals. And tried to kind of figure out who these guys were. Cause I'd challenge anybody to say they were that aware of this app, this company 12 months ago. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like what they had on there was all European groups, very small. I think Andre Houdet was like the only one that was kind of notable that had any type of presence there that you would be aware of.
Mhm.
Outside of that, it was like really small programs that you could join, and it looked like very small following.
I
But
dealt
they've
with
come
them.
on with a bang, like in the last year and a half. I mean, they've
Yeah.
put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, I
Tyler?
dealt with them on the Heat One side. We were talking back and forth for a while. I downloaded the app and looked through it. The interface was different than any of the other programming apps that I had seen before. It looked a little bit more salesy. Like if you were like Taylor or somebody who wanted to like pitch out more stuff and try to catch more followers, it looked good on that end. But you know, if you're one of the bigger groups that already had like a ton of followers, I don't know that I would want to put it on there, just to be honest. But it was fine. It was cool. It was different.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a discussion with I think the chief marketing officer probably 3 or 4 months prior to the games. They reached out to us on the media launch side. And so chatted with him, was a great dude. We kind of just gave them, they were looking to make a big splash and maximize because they sponsored all the semifinals. If you guys remember from last year, they sponsored the games like that. They had a big presence there. And so we chatted with him quite a bit about how they could kind of, a content marketing strategy coming into the U.S. essentially. And it was a good discussion. Never really went anywhere besides that. But that's when they first popped on my radar as well. And I knew at the time, just from the conversation stuff, there weren't any specific details given out, but I knew at the time that they were very well funded, like very well funded. And we sent them a $420,000 quote.
And
There's
they
another
bit.
joke. Get
They
it?
bit.
420 dog, 420.69. So anyways, I had a conversation with them. It was cool. They sounded like they were just basically trying to tie everything into one big loop. And here's the strategy. If you have that app and you have the whole entire back-end data system from managing your leads, managing member payments, managing local competitions, what it does is it gives CrossFit the ability, if they bought the company, the ability to start to have data across all of that. And now if I were to position myself and continue to move towards tech stuff, as it seems CrossFit's going to, owning the data on all of your affiliates, because you could see their transactions, you could see their monthly attendance, you could see a bunch of more information than you normally could if it's all independently done outside of CrossFit's ecosystem, then it's a lot harder to A, control, and B, value. And so do you guys think that there's a play here for them to buy CrossFit and that's kind of their long-term vision, is to basically use it as like a software company so they could have a little bit more data and knowledge on what their affiliates are doing? Tyler?
Spin.
I mean, I guess maybe. I don't see them going that direction. I think it's hard to to put 10,000 people onto some type of platform like that is really, really tough. I mean, it would be a complete shift of what CrossFit has been. I mean, to some degree, you're almost turning into a franchise model at that point, from a control standpoint of, hey, if you want to be an affiliate, you have to be on this piece of software. So it would definitely be a radical change. I don't see them doing that, just because of that reason.
Yeah, because, and I mean, they could literally send a thing out to the affiliates and say, hey, if you're an affiliate owner, sign this. And if you sign this, now you have to install our software to continue to be in good standings with your license. Now you're basically saying if they do that, that's the legality switch, or as Greg would say, the demarcation between franchise and licensing, because the level of control is what switches it over. I would argue that there's probably not enough control by requiring that potentially for it to now move to a franchise model. Because if they're still not controlling your pricing and they're still not controlling a couple other key factors, then like I don't know where that line brushes up against.
I mean, you don't have to control pricing to be a franchise. I mean, that's a lot of franchise models have it where the franchisor or franchisee has control over that. But there would be different standards that you'd be required, and a lot of times it's not an affiliate fee; it's some percentage of your revenue. And I mean, you can do that without a consolidated, single source data system. It's just a lot harder. But I mean, it would be a big change for a lot of people who have, been using different programs for 10, 15 years. And to just say, look, hey, we're new in here, start using our stuff. Like, that'd be rough.
Yeah, that would be that would definitely not be a frictionless transition.
Well, there's
a lot
always
of friction there.
that math that you have to pull. So it's like, okay, say that they do that. They move to this franchise model and they say, okay, if you're an affiliate, you have a year to get on our system. If not, you're no longer affiliated. What is your percentage drop off? And then is that money worth it at the end? Say it's a 50% drop off. I would say it's probably still worth it.
Well, I mean, I think you're almost taking a step ahead of that. Like, we're looking at we don't even know who, or haven't even discussed who owns all of this.
Yeah, we're about to dig
right.
into that.
Like, I think there's more to it from just that standpoint of, I mean, beyond just an app being forced down an affiliate owner's throat. Like, who are these guys? What is their direction? What are they trying to do? I think is a huge, that's more important than saying, here's an app you got to jump on.
All right, great point. So Tyler, go ahead. Do you want to say anything before we?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Because so to your point, Brian, that's exactly what we'll kind of go to here. So Hustle Up Apps, one of their companies. This is Wadabox, an e-commerce. Wadabox is our first business purchase. The company has been established 2014. B Sport has entered a shareholder early in 2020, just before the pandemic. The timing was perfect. The first lockdown. The sports equipment and e-commerce stores have blown up. So that's what. So as you start to go to your point, Brian. So we got supplements. We got the app. We got e-commerce here for equipment, clothing. Then we have our clothing, Northern Spirit, right? And then it looks like they have a new one here. Fame on You is the most recent creation, a website that sells a variety of brands in sports and fitness, hype clothes and sneakers. We dubbed the brand Fame to appeal to a younger, more connected, stylish, and fashionable clientele.
I like it.
Sounds like a bunch of oversized European t-shirts to me, but what do I know?
Bryson will be fucking stoked, dude.
I wear free clothes and the same shit I've had for 30 years, so whatever.
I got one of those giant Northern Spirit shirts around semifinals. It was
Nice.
rough. Yeah.
Don't let the wind pick up too much. You might fucking go sailing like a kite. Okay, so this is all their stuff. Go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say that shirt that was like neoprene, like a swimsuit or something.
Yeah. That was exactly it.
Yeah. Oh, and why we have the attention of the Mayhem crew potentially here. So you guys should probably be in trouble for false advertisement, because I bought a bunch of those Froning Farm t-shirts and I saw Rich in the advertisement and his biceps just like freaking insane. And I was like, we probably wear the same size. So I bought the same size and my biceps look tiny. So you guys should probably get that figured out. All right. Okay. So we have B Sport. So what'd you say? Who owns B Sport? So that's a good question. Okay. I found this guy right here. And now the craziest part about this, and have you looked into this at all, Brian? I assume you look into all this stuff.
Yes. Unless you surprise me with something.
I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So this gentleman here is CEO of this company, I don't know. I guess it's all one word, Swimco SA. Okay. Now this place here in Switzerland, and you guys want to give a crack at that? The name of the place?
Geneva?
No, it's highlighted.
Spins good.
Nice. Yeah, Switzerland. I had to use one of those pronunciation things in case I had to say it. You guys couldn't get it. So yeah, so that's the place in Switzerland. So that's where B Sport, the holding company, that's its address. So like that's the holding company's address. Okay. So when you scroll down, there's not much about it, but I will say this is new. I thought he had a profile picture here like 2 days ago. Am I mistaken?
I don't remember. I know I've looked at it in the past.
Weird.
I'm assuming you're just setting it up and that he did have a profile picture 2 days.
I don't know. We're just a couple dudes hanging out, scrolling through the internet. Okay, so his post here were this. He just basically reposted this two things. Okay, now one of them was 9 months ago when Hustle Up did all their sponsorships and landed that deal. The other one was 8 months ago. So there hasn't been much. Now, as you scroll down, you go to his experience. There's nothing there. May from 2017 to this place. Now, I went to this place, the website here, this Swimco SA, and it literally Google blocked me. It said that it won't allow you because there's a security threat, and that if you go on to that website or try to bypass it, it'll essentially rip off all your passwords. Is that what you're getting,
All right,
Spin?
boys.
Yes.
I gotta go.
All right. Later, Tyler.
I think
Thank you.
I think this is an opportunity, and I think it could be good. And I
All
wish I
right.
could delve deeper on that, and I can't. Bye.
Wow. Cool story.
Fair enough.
See ya.
Love you. Bye. Okay. So there you have it. So this guy is the CEO of, like I said, this company. Now, this company and this is the same address and connection to B Sport.
Mhm.
So somewhere along the line, this Swimco SA is the parent company, an investment company, some sort of stakeholder in B Sport. But I do not know how those connect.
I know. First of all, his name is Abdel Malik
you.
Chenya.
Thank you.
So you can find that other places, but his full name is Abdel Malik. From what I can tell, he owns this Swimco company, and then
Okay.
also has ownership in this B Sport, which owns Northern Spirit, Hustle Up, and whatever that new apparel company was. I don't. It's hard to connect all of the dots and how they all are there, but this is the guy that ties it all together, and I don't know what Swimco is actually doing. If
Right.
it's just like a holding company, or if there's like financial, like it almost seems like it's like some type of financial advisory thing, and maybe he made his money that way, and now he's invested in there. I mean, from what I can tell, he's big into CrossFit. Like he's been doing CrossFit for quite a few years. I've seen some stuff back in like 2017, 2018, maybe, of things like that. But
now the only other thing I could find, now this is just a simple Google search of his name, were these photos here. So I'm going to presume that this is this gentleman because it's all connected through with that other thing. So it takes us here.
yep. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that not that long ago, this was his profile picture because this is one of the original ones that I saw. This gentleman here. And
What's
now
crazy
it's
is
gone.
that photo. If you look up the dude's name, Nasser Tuaudi, that's like the same photo.
Is it wow? Is it a different? So is that his photo then or not? Do you think?
I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. And now they have this guy that looks like he's doing some sort of like throwdown thing, maybe like at an open.
And
or
that guy in the
something.
green shirt is the one that's tagged as Malik or Malek or however you want to say it.
Is there a possibility where these are all this guy is all the same?
It feels like it.
It feels like it.
Let me.
Interesting. That's okay. So this, and I'm generally like asking because like as I was going through, I did not like it was weird. The connection between this gentleman and B Sport is where it just gets, I don't know, it gets a little fishy.
And I just texted you you can go pull up Nasser if you can do that. He, in his LinkedIn, he was the co-founder of Hustle Up.
Okay. Let me bring that.
And so he was a technical sales rep at Reebok CrossFit like 13 years ago. Looks like he's gone on and left, but like that is the same profile photo.
That's the same profile photo. And that was a profile photo of the other one, which is interesting. Okay, so we go down to his experience here. So that's where we have the co-founder of Hustle Up. Why is this all in French? We can't.
You gotta translate it.
Oh man. Okay, so co-founder. And then that's basically it, huh? As
Yep.
far as the connection there.
Yep.
Let me see something. Companies. Okay, newsletter. All right. So, okay, interesting. So this gentleman here, and then let me go back to the other LinkedIn profile. Give me one sec. So is this gentleman who's also coming up in the Google searches as this gentleman. Okay. Now, what was interesting is as I was going down here, I was like, okay, clearly there's a connection. So we have a connection to that other guy. We have a connection to this. We have a connection to Hustle Up. So you can kind of see the pieces coming together. And then as I scrolled down here, I was like, okay, interesting. And I clicked companies and I found Berkshire Partners. So I was like, oh, wow, what a weird coinkydink, huh?
Yeah, strange.
How strange. Okay, so we're just going to kind of leave that there for a second. And then I want to introduce another person to you guys. Now, this individual has worked with CrossFit for the last couple of years, super under the radar. Have you heard of the VV group?
I have not.
Okay,
New
so
one.
awesome. Got you. Something you don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, awesome. So let me show this guy right here. Okay, so this dude. Okay, so this gentleman here, Robert, good-looking guy, is head of global partnerships, or was, for CrossFit for 2 years. In 2020, he was the vice president of global partnerships. By the way, I love how each one of these all have some sort of different answer for the gyms here. Like each one of them, it's like more than 10,000, 15,000, 11, 12. Do I hear 13 in the back? 13, sir. Yes. So it was like weird.
It was definitely a single point in time.
This feels like horrible bosses whiteboard scene. I'm here for it. I am so glad that you said that because that was exactly what I envisioned as I went through this. That and the Always Sunny in Philadelphia dude with all the fucking strings up. Yeah. We're definitely going deep. So anyhow, for 2 years, he was part of this. He was part of CrossFit, did all the partnerships. So he was responsible for all the stuff in 2023, I believe, and in 2024 season sponsorships. And we'll kind of show you that in a second here. Now, it looks like in 2024, he left CrossFit and started his own group here, which is interesting. And it's been a year and 2 months. Okay. Now, so this is just gentlemen. So I go to his website. So let me show you guys this. By the way, if you guys want all the show notes for this here, you could just pay $100 and I'll email you the Google Doc.
So I like it.
I only need one. I only need one buyer. Give me 1 second. Let me find this. I thought I had it queued up, and it turns out that I do. Stand by. So it looks like he started his own company off of the back end of CrossFit. Now, give me 1 sec here. And I don't mean that negatively either, by the way, guys.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If they were going to let him go and then contract him and he started his own company for it, yeah, 100%. Okay, so here's the website to his company. Okay. So it's in here over 15 years, and you can still hear us. Over 15 years of experience in doing partnerships. Go to case studies. And when I click case studies, it's the work he did with CrossFit. So in 2023, it looks like he did the Chipotle deal, Noble, and then he left, started his own company, and then he did the next couple of deals. So he's still working, I do believe, as a contractor, third-party contractor for CrossFit. Now, as I look down at all of his partnerships and the companies that he's worked with before, obviously there's a lot of brands on here that we recognize between CrossFit Games, Loud and Live, Northern Spirit, Rogue, Yeti, so all the big players that we've seen over the last couple of years at the games. So this gentleman here was responsible for all those partnerships. Okay, so why is that important? By the way, he did the Open. He signed up for the Open. So
Sweet.
his relationship has connected through Northern Spirit, who is also then started his own company and then has started to work those partnerships. So I'm guessing or wondering if that was part of the thing that he saw. He saw the writing on the wall, started his own company. So without any conflict of interest, he could potentially help broker the deal and partnership between B Sport and CrossFit, the company as its total.
I don't
Too much
know
of a
about that.
stretch? Too much of a
I
stretch?
think it might be too much. I mean, obviously he was there when they worked out the agreement with Northern Spirit.
Right.
So I mean, it could just be that he's, bragging about that relationship and talking about that versus leaving to try to broker the deal.
Yeah, that's true. So, but do you think he had any involvement in it at all?
In what, the sale?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, partnerships, he's trying to just bring people on to help support the CrossFit Games and raise money. I mean, if these guys, if this Malik was interested in buying it, I think it comes out separately from that. I mean, I think they're going directly to Berkshire. I don't know if they may have an investment firm with them that's trying to broker the deal. I don't think this guy would be doing something like a corporate transaction. I think would be above what this guy's done before.
Yeah, and to your point, Berkshire, having done this for as long as they have, probably have all their own people in place to handle the acquisition or sale or any of that. That's going to be done
Definitely the
for
sale. You may work with an investment bank on the buy side of things, but you're not going to go to a guy that just sold sponsorships.
Right. Okay, so let's dive a little bit back into some of the people here real quick. Okay, so we have this guy, and I'm curious as to what you know about him here. Let me bring it up. Just close some of these windows. Okay. Mr. looks like Florian.
Florian Julian?
Yes. Now, where does he fit this? Because I found an interesting post that he commented on, which is right below here. So he's involved with Hustle Up.
He's the CEO of Hustle Up.
He is the CEO of Hustle Up.
He's a young guy, he's like 26.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Maybe this was the guy that I met with. Interesting. Okay. He doesn't have much on here.
No, I mean, I get a sense that he may be some type of programmer dude.
Okay.
And kind of led the charge of developing this app. He seems fairly technical if you go through some of his Hustle Up stuff. He's sharing that, they're opening up all of their their roadmap for the app, making it public. So, I mean, he's definitely involved in that side of things. So he posts a lot for sure, and was very proud of what they've been putting in, the growth of the app. Yeah,
and he wrote this post here, and I want to read this to you guys because I found that this was kind of interesting. I just wanted to bring up the full post so I could read the full text. Okay, so this was 2 months ago. 2 months ago. My biggest project ever. As a teenager or young adult, we dream about becoming famous or rich or financially independent or saving the world. Yeah, agree. Okay. Then we discover that passion is the best fuel above anything else. Got it. Mm-hmm. And finally, passion can become the key to achieve teenage dreams. Thank you to all my teammates. I work with passion each day. Let's see what the future holds. Cheers to the whole team. And then the post here is 2024 was epic. What will 2025 bring from sponsoring 2024 CrossFit semifinals, 3 division games worldwide, and launching our gym management system this year? Took Hustle Up to another level. Swipe to see what we've been up to. And this is just the beginning. So Obviously he's really stoked and believes that the future looks very bright for himself and for Hustle Up.
I have an unrelated question for you. Maybe you know as an affiliate owner, where is Cap available?
What do you mean? Like on the affiliate toolkit?
Yeah, like where can you get Cap?
That's the only place I know I could get it.
That's
Can
it?
you buy it somewhere else?
Like, is it available like on Wodify, or does it get pushed to any of those?
Yeah,
other
I think it
apps?
gets pushed to almost all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just but how do you get that though? Like, I mean, could I go to Wodify and get the Cap?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think you can. I don't think you have to be an affiliate owner if that's what you're asking to get it. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was interesting. If you go back to Florian's LinkedIn page,
Mhm.
and you go to his most recent post,
Where do I find
Yeah,
that? Under
that one
post?
right there, that one on the left.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
a month
if you
ago.
open that up,
Okay.
just click on the more. At the end, yeah.
Okay.
And then click on the LinkedIn link there. Check out our roadmap.
Let me switch the page over so you guys can see it.
So basically, they've made their roadmap public. You can like give them ideas, I guess. But if you scroll over to the long-term section,
oh, add more affiliate programming outside of Cap.
So that's why I was asking, like, is that?
Oh. Good job. Look at that little loose thread you found. So how do they have access to Cap?
That's my question. Like how who has access to?
And then why would they have it first?
Yeah. Brett's saying you can get it on SugarWad right now.
Interesting.
$20 a month on SugarWad.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe it's just that they're getting to that point, but
yeah. No, that's
it is interesting. It's a long-term
that is
goal of having that.
That is interesting.
Hit that.
Okay, a couple more things just to check out here, and then I think we've somebody said like we need some sort of family tree to connect all of them. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with this, because one kind of led to like another, who kind of led to like another, and then there's this really big gap between B Sport, Hustle Up, Northern Spirit, and where you would come up with money to buy the games. Now, real quickly, before we go into this last little bit, which I think will be important because there's a little bit of like the WIT, whatever it takes, that it was like an apparel clothing company, I think, in Europe. So there's an interesting kind of connection there, which might help us lead to, because there was one gym that kind of everybody talked about and circled around a little bit in all the research that I was looking at in France. So that's going to lead to some interesting speculation, and then we'll conclude it with that, and hopefully the people got something out of this. But shit, I lost my thought. Okay, so B Sport and that other company, and where they got their money coming from. Now, what do you think? It's all speculation here. What do you think it's sold for, or what do you think they're trying to get for it? Like realistically, not like, oh, I want $1 billion. Like, what do you think their bottom line is? Because they 200 million, it was public, what they bought it for. So what do you think? They're trying to double that? They're trying to get 400 million at this point. Do you think they're just trying to get out of it? Like,
I think they're trying to get out of it for anything above 200 million. I mean, the idea is, I mean, if it was 11,000 affiliates times an extra 1,500 a year, it's an extra $16 million. They've cut expenses out of that too.
Yeah. Yep.
A subscription-based model, you're adding probably close to $100 million to value. Now, they've lost some affiliates since it was purchased in 2020 and things like that. So, it's probably a little bit different, but I mean, I think realistically, you could say that there's a potential they could have sold it for upwards of 250, maybe 300 if it was, depending on how much they've cut out of cost.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sleeky said these guys have been trying to buy it since Rosa went MIA, and they kept getting turned down because their offer wasn't high enough. Yeah, until there's a catastrophe at the games and they have a public relationship nightmare, and then they just maybe all of a sudden that price ain't looking so bad no more. You know what I mean? Okay, so I found this here, which this gentleman now is the CEO of Northern Spirit. So Daniel Williams. This guy also founded the WIT, which was purchased by Fraser Group, not to be confused or conflated with anything with Matt Fraser, but Fraser Group is an investment group. They bought it. These guys bought it back with another company called Friday and then this gentleman, Daniel Williams here, is now working for and is the CEO of Northern Spirit, just as of last month. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any speculation on his involvement with any of this, or do you just think that he just moved from WIT to this because at some point they might close the loop on all of this?
I mean, I think obviously if B Sport or this Malik guy is buying up companies, I mean, WIT had no value, buys it up for some reason, brings this guy on as CEO. Either he has a lot of money or he's well connected to a lot of money, and he's trying to own the ecosystem of Europe CrossFit, I think is maybe the best way of putting it. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say that Dan may have a big role in it, but there's a good chance that, I mean, anybody that is involved with Hustle Up, Northern Spirit, could very well be involved with this post acquisition.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you look at them trying to basically own like a closed loop ecosystem, so what I mean by that is like CrossFit like has its apparel branch, it's got its software branch, it's got its whatever, the equipment and the e-commerce portion of it that they could use to distribute more stuff. And then it also looks like it's going to have its competitive portion as well too. It sounds like this company B Sport is basically take all these little things that make up the CrossFit ecosystem that are fragmented somewhat and then close them underneath one holding company is kind of what I'm putting together from this.
Yeah, I mean, think about one of the hardest things to do logistically with the games is fund and like create all of the apparel uniforms. Like that's why it's always been a Reebok or a Noble, a GoRec, right? Because just going to outsource that type of volume is not easy. And
right.
Real-time type apparel, requirements. So it always made sense to bring in an apparel company because they're the ones that just, they're going to donate and bring in all the shirts and shorts and everything. Now you have that with Northern Spirit. I mean, they basically did that for all the age group and adaptive athletes.
Yeah. And so it'd make more sense. And I think you kind of like hinted at this a couple of times and we're going to go all the way there. So do you think their long-term strategy here or their focus is to build the sport of CrossFit?
Yes, 100%. I think it's in their name. It's B Sport. I mean, I not to say that they're not invested in CrossFit affiliate side of things, but I think what I get a sense of is that they're more intrigued by the sport side of it, the game side of things. And maybe that leads to more interest in the affiliate side, post. But I definitely think they're more on the interest of, when you think about high level programming or, like the training camp programming on the app, you have
right
sponsorship of the game side of things. You see that more than you do the affiliate side. Maybe there's just not a way to properly sponsor the affiliate side, but I just get a sense that they like the sport.
Yeah, that's what I gathered too. And I wonder if they think they're under the school of thought of that, like, hey, if we blow the sport up, everything else takes care of itself. So meaning like if the sport gets huge, we'll fill the seats in the seminars, the upsell from that being affiliateship, like we'll convert more people to upsell to run this whatever, continue on with this and make this a career. And so that, I mean, it could be, and from what the looks of it is, it seems like exactly that. Like all those pieces are falling into place, that they're buying it for the sport and they're going to try to really invest into it and blow it up. Now, one of the things I remember from my meeting with the folks over at Hustle Up that I thought was very interesting was the local comp thing that they had in the app, which is something that I was like, oh yeah, I wonder why that wasn't more readily available. Because like if I want to run a local competition, usually I have to go to like whatever it is, Competition Corner or some of these other like, so I have to go outside of it. But if I used Wodify, and inside Wodify, I could build a product to run a local competition, and that would populate a whole leaderboard and all this other stuff that I would need to access. Like you would basically kind of like build it all into one, right? And so that part I thought was basically like the only innovative thing really to kind of close it. But I could see that they were trying to like basically close the loop on all these things to bring it all under house, which would save them significant amount of money, and then would give them a lot more control.
Well, and it also opens up their ability to go find sponsors outside of that apparel line.
That's right.
Right.
So
like you don't have to go approach a group that has apparel that's your source, because that's what you're doing. You can go find anybody now because you don't have that in the back of your mind of, oh shit, I have all of these other, I don't worry about apparel.
Right. You go get a sponsor and that sponsor
covered.
Yeah, and then that money from that sponsor barely covers all the apparel to get everybody outfitted. You're like,
and speaking of that, if you go back 9 months ago, and there's all the, I think I wrote the article about how the age groups were getting screwed over by the amount of uniforms.
Right.
I've been told that basically that's what was communicated to them. It wasn't Northern Spirit saying, just give them a handful of uniforms for a 4-day competition. It was kind of pushed on them. And what I had also heard is that they bought GoRuck shoes for those athletes. GoRuck was not going to supply them.
Oh, interesting.
So,
I mean, they probably can't afford to lose anymore. I heard that deal was upside
I think they
down.
got a bad rap. Like, I think Northern Spirit kind of got a bad rap throughout a lot of that. But I think really behind the scenes, they did a lot for the athletes beyond that, because I don't think they were supposed to get GoRuck shoes. And I believe Northern Spirit just ponied up and bought those for them. So
yeah, interesting.
If that's true, I mean, it definitely speaks to them wanting the sport to succeed and to make, the athletes happy that they're going to be in that experience.
So they're trying to buddy up is what you're saying.
Also could be true.
Yeah. No, but at least that's cool. At least they're considering the athletes here. Dex Hopkins, don't forget Panda Express / Under Armour.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back to, Under Armour is obviously clothing, but you can go back to Panda Express.
Well, so you know the story about the Panda Express, right?
What, that they were a sponsor? I don't know.
Yeah, but you know how that came to be?
I don't remember.
So one of Dave's, and I might mess up some of the details, but one of Dave's buddies, one of his operating buddies, Navy SEAL dudes, was the CEO of Panda Express at the time. And so he just wanted to help out. So that's how that came to be. That individual that was the CEO of Panda Express later went on to start 511 Tactical.
It all full circle.
Yeah. You like that? There's your little history lesson, guys. Okay. Everybody just wants to throw jabs at the Panda Express sponsorship. Bring it back. They got the chicken and the veggie dish you could get. You're good to go. Okay, so we're gonna end with this here. This is interesting. Biceman, just let me bring you back in and ditch my overlay here. 1 second. The overlay doesn't quite make as much sense with multiple people on. Okay, so a lot of these stories, and I dug through a ton of stuff with all these people, but it was like, what do they say? Like all roads lead to Rome. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in this case, all these people led to CrossFit Louvre. How do you say that?
I think you got it. Close enough.
CrossFit Louvre. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure the French will be upset with us, but
yeah, well,
it happens.
Hey, dude, don't even get me started. I had to spend 24 hours in Paris one time.
Sorry.
I almost conquered them. Okay. So all the roads lead to CrossFit Louvre. And it seems like a lot of them found their love for it through this gym, and there's a big connection here. Now, when you ask yourself, okay, well, who owns CrossFit Louvre? No more than Sir Daniel Chafee. Chafee?
Yes.
And this gentleman has been around for a long time. He's basically run the show over in Europe, right? Like
he's like CrossFit Europe.
He is CrossFit Europe. So this is speculation, but if I were to have to make a guess, I would guess that this would be their guy. Now, he's been around for a long time. He's seen a lot. He's been running it over in Europe for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's very well versed in all things and everything CrossFit. And he owns CrossFit Loop. So there is no way that this stuff is happening over in his backyard. And these people are connecting through their gym or at some point found their love for CrossFit through this gym. And he is not involved. I would guess that even if it's for the interim, even if it's just for a transitional period, or even if it's for the first year, I'm going to make another prediction here. This is going to be the new CrossFit CEO.
I would not be surprised at all. Like if these guys, I mean, I know Hustle Up has a huge presence in France, right? I believe I may have run across like these guys have been at that gym or been with Chafee at some point down the road. Yeah, and Chafee was founded French Throwdown. I don't know if he's fully involved with it anymore, but he has some ownership of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think all roads, there's nobody that has more knowledge of CrossFit inner workings than Chafee in that area. And if you're big in CrossFit, you know him.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Europe. Like this guy's the guy out there. And I know of him a lot out in here and of his involvement in CrossFit and being around CrossFit for years. So that's gonna be my prediction there. A couple of things that I will end on here is number one, here's what's gonna happen. I think the transition will be slow at first, so they won't see a lot of change. And then I think that we will see all the executives go. I think the majority of them over time, this could be a 6-month, 8-month period, could even be a year as they transition it. But I definitely think that once the sell happens, that executive team gets moved out. And I would be willing to bet that even some of the OGs like Dave and Nicole within that year will most likely be out too.
I mean, that's generally what happens. I would not be surprised. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Dave and Chafee's relationship and how well they are. And at the end of the day, it may not even matter if it is a good relationship.
May not be up to them, or
we don't know,
right?
What Malik's like, where he stands on all of this and what's happened in the last year. I think that's probably a lot of what it's going to come down to, right? Like,
yeah,
what side of the fence they stand on, in the direction they want to take it.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And here's the cool part: Mr. Daniel Chafee will be on Pedro's show tomorrow morning.
How about that?
Yes, at 6 a.m. EST, so 3 a.m. my time. I will not be watching it at that time, but I will be waking up and watching it tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I wonder if Pedro is going to reference this show to lead into the question. Be like, it's not my question, dude. Here, it's just
if anybody's going to do it, it would be Pedro.
Yeah, it's funny.
That'll probably be his first question. What did those guys get right, and what did they get wrong?
Yeah, I've had limited interaction with Daniel. All my interaction has been very pleasant. When he came on the show, he was awesome. Sevon talks very, very highly of him. And when I ran into him at the games this year, he like turned and kind of looked, and I gave him the nod, and then he like looked away, then he doubled back, like he like caught me, and then I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "You're trouble. You are trouble." And I was like, "Me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you. I know." And like walked away, and I was like, "Oh man," in a loving, nice way. But
actually, I'll change it. It won't be the first question. Pedro will butter him up for a good 40 minutes and then drop the bomb, and hopefully he'll have his water ready. So he wants to leave and grab some water.
Did he come on you? Yeah, we call that flirting. Nice, Tris. Okay, that's good. So yeah, it'll be man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this shakes out. But I hopefully you guys have kind of enjoyed our speculation show here as we comb through the mystery of what is going to happen with CrossFit in the short term. I do think we're going to be hearing some stuff about this pretty dang soon.
Real quick, what do you think happens? What if the sale happens, let's say in 2 weeks?
Okay.
And then they drop like $1 million into the prize purse.
Sucks for all those I'm out people.
That would suck, right?
That would be amazing, because what would they do then?
Oh no, you didn't submit your first score.
They're all like, I'm out. And then they're like, okay, by the way, this year we're giving away over $3 million between all the prize purse, and all of them like, guess what? I'm in. They're like, I said I'm out of the open. I didn't say I wasn't going to not qualify for the games. Guys.
You gotta be top 1%. You gotta be top 1%.
Oh man, that would be amazing. Yeah. Hey dude, thanks so much for coming on and going down this rabbit hole with me. I appreciate it. I know I kind of hit you up last minute, and you and Tyler are both awesome. So
it's all good.
I appreciate it. And thanks for letting me steal your background. It's kind of awkward with you on here.
Oh, you stole it?
Oh, I mean, thanks for influencing my background. Anyhow, everybody else, for those of you guys at home, I'm going to leave you with, why isn't this showing up? Maybe I'm going to leave you with it. I'm going to leave you with this here. But we can't play the music because I'll get copywritten, so we just kind of talk over it a little bit and blur the lines.
There you go.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, why Rich Phonig will always be the people's champ. I was actually going to one day work up the nerve to ask him to come on the show so we could talk about the old school days when he started, like when he was still in the Nike Freeze, and him and Darren were doing like this thruster workout I found a way back. So we'll see, maybe one day.
2010.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, dude, exactly.
Look at Hustle Up. I mean,
what's that?
Hustle Up was commenting on that.
I mean,
working with Mayhem. I mean, they're big into all of that. So
CrossFit was about it. Hustle Up was about it. Yeah.
I mean, I find it odd that Mayhem would partner with those guys if there wasn't something there.
Right. Anyhow, I don't necessarily think any of it could be negative. We don't know, so it's not negative speculation. I just think there's going to be a definite shakeup, and who knows? We shall see what the future holds. Thank you, guys. Go check out Pedro's show tomorrow, 6 a.m. Eastern time. He will have Daniel Chefe on, and maybe we will get some more insights. Mr. Spin, thank you from the Barbell Spin. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe it. All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.